guys, we're over here at the pyrite spot. The bad thing about being here at this pyrite spot is we're right on the highway. So there's a lot of road noise, but I'm going to give it a good half hour or so and see if I can find anything good. The shale's all black, so it's hard to see any kind of like rust spots, like all those indicators to show where there might be some nodules. But we'll go ahead and give it a go for a little bit and see how it goes. I don't have a hat, and rumor has it I might be balding a little bit, so and I'm out here in the open sun. We'll see how long I can last. So at this location, what you can mainly find is pyrite, marcasite, limonite, chalcopyrite, all the ites, all right? So right off the bat, one of the things I want to look for are these washout areas where everything's going to kind of funnel together and then kind of flow through. So that'll be where a lot of the nodules will collect that are from runoff. So if I look down here, I could see, this looks like a big one right here. That's a big nodule. Here's a nodule. Here's another nodule. Another one. They're even up here outside of the little runoff area. But this whole thing is just full of them. That one right there looks like it's embedded. Oop, I just popped it out. More rust spots. There's a spot right there. Let's see. There's another one. Here's one. They're just kind of all over. Oops, I just dropped that one. So I've discovered that if you are in the northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri area, if you can find some black shale, like all of this stuff right here, chances are pretty good you're going to be able to find some pyrite and marcasite and all those other ites. So I came up here on top of the ledge to check out some of this water flow, and we've got a nodule here, one right there, one right here. Looks like we've got a pretty one right here, another one right here. This one, yep, that's easy enough to remove. The shale can be pretty sharp, so I recommend wearing gloves. Also, the stuff is pretty brittle too, so it can break apart fairly easily. The shale can and the specimens that you're trying to remove. Here's a quick look at what it looks like raw, right out of the shale. So right now the shale is all wet, which is good, but it also is kind of bad because everything looks nice and dark and it's hard to see all the rust spots. The rust spots are a good indicator to find where the pyrite nodules could be. So you got to look for the shape that's different, because basically everything on here is running horizontally, and sometimes you see these little cube shapes, little pyrite knobs. Be sure to check all the areas where stuff is falling down and come down here. Chances are pretty good a nodule or two may have popped out. So when looking for this stuff, you go by shape and by color. So all these horizontal rocks, and then you see a shape that's different and it's colored different. So that's a good indicator of where these nodules are. Now there's a lot of shale still embedded in this. I'm going to have to clean that up once we get home. There's another one right here. Oh, looks like it broke off a little piece. Look how pretty that red is. I apologize about all the road noise. So this looks like a pretty good sized nodule right here. Looks like it's going to break into a couple of pieces. Man, check out that cube. Isn't that beautiful? Aside from color and shape, the shape that's different, you can look for different seams. You see that kind of light gray seam going through here? Goes all along. If you follow that seam, sometimes you can come up with some pretty cool nodules right there along it. There's another little one right here. It's hard to see all the little cubes on these now because they still have some shale in them. But I'll have to clean these up a little bit better when we get home. So this next spot has a piece right there, a piece right here, and another one right here. Oh, this one's breaking into a few pieces. This one looks like it's going to crumble a little bit. The shale around it's packed a little more tightly. Yeah, see how it's breaking apart when I push against it? My fingers. So in this area here, we've got a nodule there, a nicer one here. We've got one here, and one up there. And there's probably a few more. Let's go for this bigger one first. Hopefully it'll stay together. Nope, breaking apart. You have to be really, really careful with these things. Gravity seems like is not your friend when it comes to finding these. You can lose them real quick. Sometimes these nodules can be pretty crumbly, so I have to work the area around it, because sometimes if I push in on them, they'll break. Look how pretty that thing is. There's at least 3 of them. 2 little small ones. Oops, that one's crumbling apart. Like I said, gravity isn't always your friend when it comes to finding these things, because they're so easy to drop. Here's a look at that piece after only spraying it off with water. So I'm just finding these things left and right and in the middle. Look at all those stacked cubes right there. It's like a bunch of fallen over dominoes or something. Still playing that game of one of these is not like the other. Here's what that piece looks like after I sprayed it off with water. Looks like it's embedded in. Oh, got it. Found one I like. It's right there. And I'm up kind of high on a really steep and slippery slope with all this shale. So I'm going to try to pull that one. dropped it. Dropped it, but thankfully I was able to find it. Here's what that piece looks like after I sprayed it off with some water. Here's another one. And it looks like there's a whole seam of pyrite going through there. See all that yellow? Pretty sure that's pyrite. Then I was looking for nodules and I scrolled down and I saw that dark round thing there. Then what caught my eye is right under it. Oh, it's crumbling apart. Man, that was really pretty too. Oh well, that happens sometimes. It's fun finding the big shiny balls, but what's good indicators are these seams, like this right here. See, it leads over to this side. See, all of that right through there all leads over to that seam. And there's even a little bit of pyrite right there above my finger. Got that seam running all through here. And it goes all the way down. See it right there above my finger? That kind of gold seam right there with the more kind of terracotta shell underneath it. Alright, so I'm following along this seam, just kind of going a little above it and a little below it, looking for stuff. And if I look a little above it, looks like a nodule right here that's breaking. And here we go. It's got a little Quato nodule on there. If you know where the Quato reference comes from, put it down in the comments below. So we've got a nodule right here. Ooh, look how pretty that is. I want to give a big thank you to my friend Scott, who originally told me about this place. I'll leave a link for his YouTube channel in the description below. Here's a quick look at that piece after I got it sprayed off with some water as well. There's still quite a bit of shale on this piece that I need to get off. So I just made it over here to one of my honey hole areas at this location. See all these little rust spots? It's just little nodules. They're just embedded all over. Pyrite chunk right there. There's that gold seam running through over there, over that direction. And let's see, where else? Oh, here we go. Here's a nice one right here. Let me get that one out of there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Kind of going back to the follow the seams thing. Right there above my finger, there is a line that's going through right there, following all the way over. There's just a whole lot of marcasite right through there. I'm going to try to get some of it. Okay, I just got a piece of it. Had to stand on my tippy toes and use my pick to barely get a piece off. Came from right there, and as you can see, there's still a whole seam of it going all the way over. See it right there? Continuing on. Ooh, that looks like a nodule right there on my finger. I think that is. Yep. Let's try to get it. So I think I found my grand finale piece. It's a whole bunch of nodules all connected in a line. I'm going to try my best to get this thing out all together in one piece. The first thing I'm going to try to do is loosen up some of the shale around it. So hopefully it'll fall out. I'm going to make a more of a flat area down here for things to fall into, so it doesn't just keep rolling right down the hill. Let's speed this process up for a minute. From what I see exposed, it looks pretty large, but I don't know how large it is inside the wall. So at first I start chiseling away a couple of inches away from it, and then I just get closer and closer. Unfortunately, the hammer strikes around the nodule caused shock and created a few cracks in it. Oh, I think it's going to break apart. Yeah, a little piece of it just broke off. Yeah. Let's speed this up again as I try to get more of it out. That piece is in there pretty solid. Alright, I had to take a break for a minute to go back to the car and get a few extra tools. The car is way back down that way, several hundred feet. What I'm finding, I've been breaking off a couple of pieces and I don't want to, but this is still all connected here and here. And it's a really nice large piece. So I went and got a few bigger tools. Basically, a lot of the stuff that's on the outside is brittle. This stuff on the outside is brittle and it'll crumble apart. But this stuff right here that's more inward, it's packed tight under the weight of all this other shale that's on top of it, just pressing down on it. So it gets really tight and sometimes it's hard to work. The stuff that's on the outer edge that looks a little more flaky, that crumbles off. But this stuff right here does not crumble off. So I have to persuade it. And I'm on a pretty steep slope right here, but I'm going to try to make a little flat area right here in case when things fall out, hopefully it'll catch. But this one's all breaking apart. There's a little ball and a piece of a nodule, a nice size. I wish I was able to keep it all together. Let's speed this part up also. So I put my hammer down, then I've got a crowbar, and I put the crowbar inside my glove so that it's padded when pulling up from underneath it, so it doesn't damage. Well, I've had a lot of fun in this short amount of time. Let's take these home and clean them up and see how they turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless.